Has he got enough of this? He has. This one's bigger.
And there goes that bubble gum. Oh, he's going to burst it.
It is always amazing to come back to Pakistan. This is my third visit now. And each time I come back, the people are always amazing. So I've been here now for just over 1 day. And the staff at the hotel are doing their best. I'm obviously in quarantine and isolation, and the staff at the hotel and my teammates are doing their best just to make me feel really welcome. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow, getting out of the quarantine period and joining the rest of my teammates. I really am fortunate. I mean, it was amazing. I've got some amazing memories of my time here last time, in February and early March, especially especially before the pandemic really took off and we were able to have those amazing crowds in Lahore. The way that the fans embraced me and supported us, and the way that we were able to repay them a little bit and put some good performances on the board in front of those amazing crowds was something really special. So, I think we're all hoping and praying that the world gets on top of this pandemic, and from a sporting point of view and a cricket point of view, I'm hopeful that at some stage we'll see those amazing crowds back soon. It was an amazing experience, and I guess it's still going. And we the great thing for us is that we can control how the end is written. To be in the finals is always an achievement in itself. I've spoken before at length about the high quality of the PSL, not only this year but in previous years, and I guess going forward how this is one of the premier competitions in the world in terms of 2020 cricket. So. For us to qualify is an achievement in itself, but like I said previously, we're certainly not done yet. Our team, our local guys are all in fantastic form. We've seen Shaheen Shah Afridi do really well. Harris Ralph's been doing well. The Professor's doing well. The guys all performed really well in their domestic tournament. And then hopefully I can add a little bit of cream on top, and we can go all the way and lift that trophy. I mean, I spoke before about the energy that the crowd obviously gave us in Lahore. Obviously, we're not going to have that here, but on the flip side of that, I'm really hoping that we can give the people of Pakistan something to cheer about, and obviously the supporters of Lahore Qalandars something to cheer about while they're at home. It is a little bit of a shame, to be honest, because the team was certainly tracking in the right direction in March. I mean, like you mentioned, Chris Lynn scored a magnificent 100. Semin Patel was playing really well. Mohammad Hafiz was playing well. Shaheen Shah Afridi was bowling beautifully. I guess the thing that most people don't know is during that period as well, there were a lot of guys carrying some injuries. Shaheen had a sore thumb. Dilber was very sore. I think he sighed. Harris had a sore foot. My knee was really sore. So this period of time, although our momentum has stopped a little bit, has given everyone a chance to refresh. And I guess you certainly have to put it into perspective in terms of, yes, it's unfortunate that we probably haven't had the opportunity to have as much match practice, and our momentum might have been halted a little bit. But we're talking about a global pandemic where there's so many people doing it tough all the way around the world, both here in Pakistan and back home in Australia, and all around the world. So realistically, when you actually look at it, that's we're pretty lucky in a sense to be able to come over. Well, I certainly view it as that I'm very lucky to come over and play in this final series. And one of the things that motivates me is the opportunity to give people who are doing it tough, sitting at home, something to watch on television and something to cheer about. So there's pros and cons for everything. Me personally, I ended up having knee surgery in April, so I was able to rehab that really well without the stress and the pressure of having to to get back onto the field and play right away. So that's healed really well. I went to the Caribbean Premier League and played 10 games in 20 days there. So there's no issues around my fitness or anything like that. So I'm just looking forward now, like I said, to getting out. The knee problem was probably hindering me running and doing other things, which might have meant that I had to try and hit more boundaries. So it might have helped in that sense. But no, I've played cricket now professionally for 10 or 12 years, and I've been extremely lucky from an injury point of view. So this was just a little minor operation to hopefully now extend my career, for a few more years to go. So it was one of those things that had to happen. I'd been putting it off for a little while. I had a pretty heavy schedule last year. I was in South Africa playing those 2020s, then I had the Big Bash, then straight out to PSL. So I think it was something like 40 games over a 3-month period with international travel all over the world. So the body was starting to get a little bit tired, and those months while the pandemic was taking place was actually really important for me to get some rest and relaxation and spend some time with my family. The quality is extremely high. I've spoken about this, and the chatter amongst the international players and especially the guys back home is that we know that this competition is a really tough one. There's only 6 teams. Pakistan play amazing 2020 cricket. They were number 1 in the world not that long ago. So when you start putting all of those things in place, as well as obviously playing in Pakistan, which is their home conditions, the Pakistani local home conditions, who are full of talent, know the game really well, know the conditions really well. It makes it tough work for internationals coming over to play, which is all the more special when when I look back and have those performances that are noteworthy, I guess, and making memories against some of the best players in the world. It's a extremely tough league. It's one that I really enjoy coming to for a number of reasons. And like I said, hopefully over the next week or so, Lahore can not only make the finals for the first time, but lift that trophy for the first time. It's disappointing, I guess, for Chris not to make the trip. I'm very good friends with him, and I know how much he really, really wanted to come. We spent 6 weeks or 8 weeks together in the Caribbean for that tournament, and we spoke about these finals a lot. And I know for a fact that he really, really wanted to come. Unfortunately, due to the modern day cricket commitments, he just can't make it. So whenever you lose a quality player like Chris, it does sort of change the dynamics of the team. But in saying that, he did miss a couple of games throughout the last PSL, and the team still performed well. So I'm hopeful that Temin will step up, or we've got Dane Villas as well, who didn't play the last few games. He's over here, who's a high quality player. And that's the great thing about our squad, is in a sense that we seem to have a lot of the bases covered in terms of if someone needs to come in and play, they're a high quality player and a high quality replacement. So although it's disappointing for Chris not to be here, I think personally for him, he was desperate to come over and play and be a part of this journey. So it's disappointing for him, but from a team's point of view, we have to crack on now and find a way just to get the best result for our team. The list, there's quite a big list really, isn't there? And we've seen over the last few years, especially with the player development program here with Lahore Qalandars, some of those guys graduate to international stardom. Like we look at Shaheen Shah Afridi, for example. I was only talking to Samin yesterday around his journey from a 16-year-old, and he, for mine, and I said it before the World Cup was cancelled or postponed, that he was a very big chance to win sort of player of the tournament in that World Cup. He's no longer an emerging talent. He is bona fide a superstar. Harris Rolfe certainly making his way, but again, he's not an emerging talent anymore. He's as good as it gets. So I think the next person in that sort of production line might be Dilbar Hussain. We saw a little bit of him last tournament, but like I said, he was carrying quite a significant injury. So I expect him to sort of follow in the footsteps of Shaheen and Harris, and make his name in international cricket really soon. I feel very fortunate that the fans have put so much faith in me to be in their fantasy team, and I just hope that I don't let them down. I play a little bit of fantasy competitions and stuff like that with some of the sports back home, so I know how important it is to people. And like I said, I'm really hopeful that I don't let them down, and I can perform well for them and get their team a good score. I really do rate our chances of winning this tournament. I've flown all the way around the world for us to take part in these finals, so I wouldn't have done that if I didn't think that we were a good chance to win, and I think we are. We've got guys playing really well for the Pakistan international team. Guys performed really well in their domestic competition that was a lead into sort of these finals. So I'm really confident. The local boys are playing really, really well. They're all highly skilled. They should have reason to be full of confidence. So I'm looking forward to joining them in practice over the next couple of days. Get back amongst them, get our laughs going and our momentum back up and running, and hit the ground running come this first game.